When chapmen billies leave the street, and drouthy neighbours mate. When market days are wearing late, and folk begin to tack the gate, while we sit boozing at the nappy, getting fou and unca happy. We think na on the long Scots miles, the mosses, water, slaps and stiles that lie atween us and our hame, where sits our sulky, sullen dame, gathering her brews like a gathering storm, and none her wrath to keep it warm. This truth van Ch2 Tam OShanter is he frae airy nicht did canter, all day when there are tunes or passes for honest men and bonny lasses. Oh, Tam, had thou's but been sae wise as ta'en thy old wife Kate's advice, she told thee well thou was a skellum, a blatherin', blusterin', drunken blellum, that frae November to October, a market day thou wasna sober. That ilka melder with a miller thou saw as long as thou had siller, that every naig was caught a shoe, and the smith and thee got roaring fou on, and at the Lord's house, even on Sunday, thou drank wi' Captain Jean till Monday. She prophesied that late or soon thou would be found deep drowned in Doon, or catched wi' warlocks in the muck, by Alloway's old haunted kirk. Ah, gentle dames, it gars me greet, to think how many counsels sweet, how many length and sage advises, the husband frae the wife despises. But, dear tale, merket nicht, Tam had got planted uncorrect, fast by an ingle bleezing finely, where even swats that drank divinely, and at his elbow Suitor Johnny, his ancient, trusty, drouthy crony. Tam lood him like a very brother. They had been fou for weeks together. The nicht drave on with sangs and clatter, and aye the ale was growing better. The landlady and Tam grew gracious, with favours secret, sweet and precious. The suitor told his queerest stories. The landlord's laugh, ha-ha, was ready chorus. The storm without might rear and rustle. Tam didn't mind the storm a whistle. Care, mad to see a man sae happy, he'd drowned himsel among the nappy. As bees flew hame with lades of treasure, the minutes winged their way with pleasure. Kings may be blessed, but Tam was glorious, were all the ills o' life victorious. But pleasures are like poppies spread, you sees a flower its bloom is shed, or like the snow falls in the river, a moment white, then melts forever. Or like the borealis rays that flit ere you can point their place, or like the rooibos' lovely form, ye vanish amid the storm. Nae man can tether time nor tide, the hour approaches, Tam mun ride. That hour o' night's black arts the keystane, the dreary hour Tam mounts his beastin', on sic a night he tacks the road in, as ne'er poor sinner was abroadin'. The wind blew as 'twas blown its last, the rattling storms rose on the blast, the speedy gleams the darkness swallowed, loud, deep, and lang the thunder bellowed. That nicht a child may understand, the deil has business on his hand. Weel mounted on his grey mare Meg, a better never lifted leg, Tam scalpit on through dub and mire, despising wind and rain and fire, whilst hudding fast his gid blue bonnet, whilst crooning o'er an old Scots sonnet, whilst glowering round with prudent cares, lest bogles catch him unawares. Kirk Alloway was going nigh, with ghasts and hulies right they cry. By this time he was across the ford, where in the snow the chapmen swore, and past the bucks and meikle stane where drunken Charlie blacksmith came, and through the winds abin the cairn where hunters found a murdered bairn, and near the thorn abune the well, where Mungo's mother hanged herself. Before him Doon pours all his floods, the doubling storm rose through the woods, the lightning flashed frae pole to pole, near and more near the thunder rolled when, glimmering through the groaning trees, Kirk Alloway seemed in a blaze. Through all Cabor the beams were glancing, and loud resounded mirth and dancing. Inspiring bold John Barleycorn, what dangers thou does make us scorn. We tippenny, we fear nae evil, we Uscavy, we'll face the devil. The swat sae reamed in Tammy's noddle, fair play, he cared na deals a boddle. But Maggie stood erect, sore astonished, till by the heel and hand admonished, she ventured forward on the licht, and vow! Tam saw an unca sicht. Warlocks and witches in a dance, nae cotillon but new frae France, but hornpipes, jigs, straths, spaes and reels, but life and metal in their heads. A winnock bunker in the east, there sat old Nick in shape of beast, a towsy tyke, black, grim and large. To gie the music was his charge. He screwed the pipes and got them skirled till roof and rafters all did dirl. Coffins stood round like open presses that showed the dead in their last dresses, and by some devilish cantrips left, each in its gold hand held a licht, by which heroic Tam was able to note upon the haly table a murderer's banes and gibbet arms, twa span lang wee and christened bairns, a thief new cutted frae a rape, with his last gasp his gab did gape. 5 tomahawks wi' murder trusted, 5 scimitars wi' blood red busted, a garter which a babe had strangled, a knife a father's throat had mangled, wham his own son a life bereft. The grey hairs yet stuck to the heft. And more, horrible and awfy, which even to name would be unlawful. As Tammy glowered, amazed and curious, the mirth and fun grew fast and furious. The piper loud and louder blew, the dancers quick and quicker flew. They reeled across the set, they click it to work, a carl and swat, and make it and curse their daddies to the whack, and link it at it in her sack. Oh Tam had now been queens all plump and strapping in their teens. The stacks instead of creasy flin had been snow white 1700 linen. These breeks of mine my only pair, the ains were plushy gid blue hair. I would have given them off my hurdies for a blink with a bonny hurdies, but withered beldrums old and droll, rigwoody hags would spin a fall, louping and flinging on a crummock, like a wonder did they turn thy stomach. But Tam ken what was what, fu brawly, there was a winsome wench in Whalley that nicht enlisted in the corps, long after Kent and Carrick shore. For mony a beast did she shot, and perished many a bonny boat. She shook baith meikle, corn and bear, and held the countryside in fear. Her cutty sark o' paisley hern, that while a lassie she had worn in longitude, though sorely scanty, it was her best, and she was banty. Little kenned thy reverend granny, the sack she carved for her wee nanny, with twopence Scots, 'twas all her riches, would ever grace a dance of witches. But here amuse my wingman car, sick flights are far beyond her power. To think of Nanny lap and flying, a supple jade she was and strang. And Tammy stood like a bewitched, and thought us very e'en and rich. E'en sate and glared and fidged for fain, and hotched and blew wi' micht and main, till first I keep her sign another Tam, tint his reason all together and rose out, wheel done, cutty sack. In an instant, all was dark. Scarcely had Maggie rallied when out the hellish legion sallied, as bees buzz out with angry fight and plundering herds assail the dyke as open pussie's mortal foes, when pop she starts before their nose, as eager runs the market crowd, when catch the thief resounds aloud. Maggie runs, the witches follow, with money and eldritch screech and hollow. Oh Tam, they'll get the fern, and hell will roast it like a herring. In vain my Kate awaits thy coming, Kate soon will be a woeful woman. But do thy speedy utmost, Meg, and win the keystone o' the brig, for at them there thy tail may toss a running stream the dare they cross. But ere the keystone she could mak, the feint of tail she had to shack for Nanny, far before the rest, hard upon noble Maggie pressed, and flew at Tam with fury settle. Little was she Maggie's mettle, a spring brocht off her master here, left behind her ain grey tail, for the Callan clocked her by the rump, and left poor Maggie scarce a stump. Now wha this tale of truth shall read, help man and mother's son tak heed. And if to drink ye are inclined, or cutty sarks run in your mind, think you may buy the joys o'er dear. Remember, Tam OShanter smear.